So the answer is for this example 1, it's D. So I need you to do question number 1. So you're going to distribute it. I need you to show your work, and you may use calculator for the computation part. All right, let's go over this. It's going to be 5n times by 3n cubed minus 5n times by n squared plus 5n times by n. So you multiply the number part first, which is 15, and n to the what power? You multiply n to the first and n to the third, so 1 plus 3, 1 plus 3. So you add these two because you were multiplying, and minus 5 n to the what power? To the first and to the second, so 1 plus 2 and plus 40 n. So if I rewrite it again, it's going to be 15 n to the fourth minus 5 n to the third plus 40 n. Let's move on. All right, now we're going backwards. So you guys practice like how to use distributed property, right? So you distribute it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the opposite process. So this is expanded form like D. So if you look at D, it is already expanded form here. So now how can I go back? You should be able to write, like you can go back because you know how to find the greatest common factor. So greatest common factor of these three monomials is going to be this. So if you take this out and then put the leftovers, then you can factor it. It's called factor. It has like two factors, like 1 and 2. Factor means what? You multiply these two and then you will get to the expression, right? So now let's try to to figure this out, how to do this. And I believe that you know how to find the greatest common factor. So let's try to do this. So let's list the prime factors of each term. This is what we can do. You may use a cake method like of 5, 25, and 45, or you can use like listing the prime factors of each term and identify the greatest common factor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 5 and x and x and x. We're doing prime factorization here. And we have 5, how many x? 2. And we have 5 and 3 and 3 and x. So now we're going to so we need to find like the common factor in here and here and here. So we have 5, right? So 5 is everywhere here. So 5 is in the first term, second term, and third term. So GCF is going to be 5. It includes 5. And it has to be all three. It has to be located in all three. So now I can say, oh, there's x, and there's x. There's 3 here, but not in these two terms, right? So 3 is not going to be the common factor, and only 5 and x. So greatest common factor is 5x. Now I'm going to take it out from here. So I'm going to take out 5x here. I'm going to take out 5x here. I'm going to take out 5x here, right? It's like Misong distributing paper, the lesson notes, and she found some error. So I'm just saying that, oh, guys, I'm going to collect it. I'm going to collect the lesson note that I just gave you because I need to fix something, right? So now if I take 5x out, then what's the leftover? And what's the leftover? And what's the leftover? Let's say this whole thing is going to be the papers in your folder, and let's say this is Sam's, this is Ashley, this is Tom. So, and like people have all different lesson notes, like some people have the lesson notes from the first marking period, right? That maybe Tom has a lot of paper and Ashley a little bit, and Sam, he only has like about math. So if you take 5x, we need to go back like 5x times what is 5x to the third power. 5x times by x squared. If you do this, then you will get 5x to the third power. And what about 25x? We need to make 25x squared. But what number you need to multiply to get 25x squared? Or you can divide this by 5x, which is 5x. And Tom has 45x originally, but I took out 5x. So 5x times what is 45x? It should be 9. So now we found two factors. One factor is 5x and the other factor is x squared, 5x plus 9. So we have two factors, which means if you multiply them, then you will get these polynomial. I need you to do number 2 by yourself. I need you to find the greatest common factor first by listing the prime factors. 9x squared, 12x. So when you find prime factors, you don't need to keep the signs, okay? All right, let's go over this. It's going to be 3x, x, and we have 4x. And we have 3 times 3, because 9 is not a prime number, x and x. And it's 3 times 4, but 4 is 2 times 2, and x. So what are the common factors? It is 3. We have 3 in common. It has to be all 3 factors, not just 2 or not just 1. And x, 3, 2. No, 2. Nope. What about x? X is 1, only one x is in like all 3 terms, right? All factors in all 3 terms. So the greatest common factor is going to be 3x. This is greatest common factor. Let's factor this. I want to, like you gave 3x to everybody, but now you're going to take it back. So now, if you divide this by 3x, then you only have x cubed. And you can easily check, if you multiply these, then it should be this guy. And you keep the same sign, and it's going to be 3x. 3x times 3x is 9x squared, and minus 12x divided by 3x. You can also do division. 12x divided by 3x, it is 4. Copy this down. And you should be able to find GCF at least if you don't know how to factor, because we're going to practice more on factoring. But at this point and today, I really need you to know how to find greatest common factor. This process is really important, and I really want you to remember this. Factored form, so we just practice, but let's just go over one more time. Let's just, try one more time. So the first thing you need to do is you're gonna to factor each term, first factor each term, so which means we need to find greatest common factor. So it should be prime factors. When you find the greatest factors, find all the prime factors. 2 times 2, like prime number is like 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, keeps going. They only have factors of 1 and itself. So 2 times 2, x, how many x you multiply? 5. And 24 is like 24. I think you guys remember this. 2, 12. You guys remember this factor tree. 2 and 3. So we have 2, 2, 2, and 3. So it's going to be 2, 2, 2, and 3. And we have 1, 1, 1. We have 3 axes. And 8, it's going to be 2, 4. 4 is 2 times 2. So we have 2, 2, and 2. So it's going to be 2, 2, and 2, and 1x. So now we need to find the greatest common factor. So we need to find a factor, common factor in 3 terms, which is 1, 1, and x. 1x are the factors, common factors of each term, right? So the greatest common factor is 4x. So I'm going to factor out the greatest factor. So I'm going to take out the paper, like 4x. I want you to think about what number you need to put it, what expression you need to put it in the 3 boxes.